Hey everyone, and welcome back to Taking It Offline. Today, we're going to do our Google Sheets tutorial number 2. Remember, if you're following along with my tutorials, we're going to go from these basic functions to eventually integrating AI with Google Sheets. So stick around and comment below with your feedback and ideas. Last time, we talked about how to do some basic calculations like sum, averages, and how to create a basic chart. Today, I want to talk to you about conditional formatting and data validation. Remember, if you come across a problem while practicing on your own, leave me a comment and I'll be happy to help you figure out a solution. Before we jump into the tutorial, we have to understand what each of these things mean. So, conditional formatting is a feature that changes the appearance of cells based on their content. And data validation is a way to restrict what data can be entered into a specific cell. Remember these two definitions as we go through the tutorial. And don't worry, you're going to understand exactly what I mean when we're going through it. So let's jump right in. All right, everyone. So we're going to be using the same data sheet that we used for sum, averages, and charts. I have added a few columns over here from column H onwards, but I'm going to show you what that means and how we're going to be using those columns as well. So first things first, if you want your data to look more appealing and for people to be able to easily read all of your data in different rows, the first thing you may want to do and consider is doing alternate colors for each of the rows. Now, Google Sheets makes this super easy to do. I'm going to show you how to do this from row 1 through 6. So the best way to do that is go to the first cell and then hold the click and drag down and across. And you want to cover all of your columns. And then you go up here to format, and then you just click on alternating colors. As you can see, it did alternating colors of gray and white. Now you have the option to select on the right side over here, the formatting box will come up and you can select whichever color that you like. I like blue, and technically you can customize each of the row colors as well. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to leave it as is, but look at that. It already looks a lot more appealing. Next thing we want to do is we want to do conditional formatting. So let's say you want to figure out which player got the highest total points in week 1 and 2. And you want those cells to have a specific color. So the best way to do that is we're going to select the names and your total points, and we're going to go to Format, and we're going to go to Conditional Formatting. Now this is where all of your rules or your customization pops up. Now there's a lot of rules that you can play with here. So as, for example, where it says Format Rules, and then Format Cells If. That basically means that's going to be your condition. So you have lots of options here. If the cell is empty, you can give it a color. If it's not empty, you can give it a color. If it contains text of a specific kind, whether it has a date, if you want the date to be before or after. In our case, we're looking at numerical values. So we're going to look at greater than in this specific example. So we click on greater than, and we want to know the players that have scored over 30 points. So we type in 30 in the value. And as you can see here, you can preview it, and it's already selected the cells that have a value over 30 points. And we click done, and X out of that. And you can see as here, you have Noah, Rodrigo, and Aaron scored over 30 points. In this case, 45, 31, and 32. You can do so many different rules. So you can even say text that contains John, and it'll only highlight all of the cells that have points or rebounds or averages related to John. Up next, if we want to do data validation, meaning let's say you're sharing this sheet with other people, or you want to restrict these cells to only inputting data that you want, right? So when we go into a cell, for example, over here I can double click and I can type in my name, right? I can type in whatever I want. I can type in characters, I can type in numbers. It doesn't matter, right? I have the ability to do whatever I want. But with data validation, we can restrict that. So the way to do that, for example, let's say your column says played full game, and you want this column to only have the options yes or no. Easy. Let's say you only want it for these 4 cells. So we're going to select those 4 cells, hold and drag up. We're going to go to data, data validation. We're going to add rule. Option 1 is going to be yes. Option 2 is going to be no. And see, we can do all the yeses will be green and all the no's will be red. Easy. Click close. It's easier for you to see. Now here, you can even do, for example, you can do yes or no, or there's another way to do data validation where you click data, data validation, add rule for those specific cells. And instead of drop down, we want to do a checkbox and then click done and click X. So if the player is injured, you go ahead and just checkbox it right here, right? And same thing for the last one. Let's say for stat inputted, we want to do data validation. Again, there are so many different options that you have, okay, so that you can restrict them. I'm only showing you, what's available here, but date is in the past year, then click done. Okay, so we want to double click on it, and it's only going to give you the options of the calendar. There you have it. I hope that tutorial was helpful. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below with your feedback and ideas. Again, I'm taking it offline. I'm Parth, signing off. Until next time.